The single most transformative choice you will ever make isn't about money, relationships, or circumstance. It's the quiet internal declaration that you are already capable of rising to your highest standard. Not luck, not a perfect window of opportunity, not raw talent handed to you at birth, just a decision, one you can make right now, in this exact moment, that you are someone worthy of striving for excellence. The ancient Stoic thinkers understood something profound about this. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who became one of history's most celebrated teachers, taught that we don't get to choose what the world throws at us, but we always get to choose the weight we give it and the direction we move from it. And today, we're going to explore one of the most powerful applications of that Stoic principle, the practice of carrying yourself as though you are already the best version of yourself. Because here's something you already know, even if you haven't said it out loud. Doubt visits all of us. That quiet internal voice that whispers, "You're not ready, you haven't earned it yet. Someone else is more qualified." But what if that voice is simply wrong? What if readiness isn't a destination you arrive at, but a posture you choose? The Stoics would argue that's precisely the case. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the most powerful empire on earth, wrote daily reminders to himself, not about power or status, but about discipline, virtue, and the relentless effort to improve from the inside out. He didn't wait to feel great. He practiced greatness until it became indistinguishable from who he was. Stay with us, because what we're about to unpack can shift not just your mindset, but the entire trajectory of your daily choices. If this kind of content resonates with you, please subscribe to Stoic Horizon. It's completely free, and it genuinely helps the channel grow. Let's get into it. There is a precise moment when a life begins to change. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It happens quietly, internally, the instant you decide you're going to hold yourself to a higher standard. Not tomorrow, not when conditions improve, right now. This is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics weren't interested in waiting for perfect circumstances. They built their entire worldview around the idea that our inner response is the one domain entirely under our control. What does it mean to hold yourself to that higher standard? It means deciding consciously that you're going to approach each moment with the mindset of someone already living at their ceiling, their absolute best. This isn't about ego. It isn't about declaring yourself better than those around you. Marcus Aurelius makes this crystal clear in his private writings. He saw his daily striving not as competition with others, but as a quiet reckoning with his own unrealized potential. His rival wasn't another person. It was the lesser version of himself from yesterday. When you make that internal decision, "I'm going to carry myself today as though I am fully capable," something remarkable begins to happen. Your actions start to align with that declaration. You raise your own baseline. You begin moving toward the person you've always sensed you could become. The Stoics called this commitment to inner excellence arete, virtue in the fullest sense of the word, and they treated it not as an occasional aspiration, but as a daily obligation. The obstacle in your path is not stopping you, it is the path. Every challenge you face, every setback, every moment of self-doubt is not a reason to pause your climb. It is the climb. The decision to be your best doesn't exempt you from hardship. It reframes hardship as the very material from which your character is forged. Yet let's be precise about what we mean here, because this idea is frequently misunderstood. Acting as though you're the best is not arrogance. Arrogance says, "I'm better than you." What we're describing is something far quieter and far more powerful. It says, "I'm going to hold myself to the standard of the person I most want to become." Think about the athletes, craftspeople, and leaders who operate at the very top of their fields. Is their confidence loud? Rarely. It's calm, deliberate, grounded in thousands of hours of disciplined effort. They don't strut, they simply show up fully every single day. That is precisely the Stoic model. Epictetus wasn't teaching bravado. He was teaching that our inner posture, the way we choose to orient ourselves toward life's challenges, shapes everything that follows from it. What does it look like in practice? It looks like choosing your words carefully in a tense conversation, because the best version of you is thoughtful, not reactive. It looks like returning to your work after a rejection, because the best version of you is persistent, not fragile. It looks like treating your body with respect, because the best version of you understands that your physical vessel is the platform for everything else. Ask yourself right now, in this very moment, how would the highest standard version of you approach whatever is in front of you? That question, asked consistently and honestly, is one of the most effective Stoic tools available to you. This is the objection that almost everyone has when they first encounter this idea. And it's entirely fair. I'm not at the top. I haven't achieved what I want to achieve. Wouldn't pretending otherwise just be self-deception? No, and here's the distinction that matters. Authentic self-deception says, I'm already perfect, I don't need to change. What we're describing is something fundamentally different. It's the Stoic practice of prolepsis, bringing your ideal self forward into your present behavior, not as a lie, but as a compass. You don't need to already be the best to act as though you are capable of becoming extraordinary. In fact, the Stoics would say that's the only sequence that actually works. You don't wait until you feel confident to act confidently. You act confidently, and through that action, confidence is earned and reinforced. Think about a job interview. Walk into that room believing you have nothing to offer, and your body language, your hesitations, your phrasing will all communicate exactly that. Walk in holding yourself to the standard of the most capable candidate in that building, and everything shifts. Your posture opens, your voice steadies. You communicate your value because you are genuinely engaging with the possibility that you have value to offer. Even if the outcome isn't what you hoped for, the practice of showing up with that internal standard is never wasted. It builds the neural pathways of resilience and confidence that compound over time. The Stoics knew this. Seneca put it plainly, keep practicing the qualities that belong to your highest self, because what you repeatedly practice is what you permanently become. One of the most common misreadings of the act as if you're the best philosophy is to hear it as a destination, as though once you adopt this mindset, you've arrived. The Stoics would find that interpretation baffling. Seneca wrote that as long as you draw breath, your education isn't complete. Mastery, in the Stoic view, is not a peak you summit. It's a direction you orient yourself toward, permanently, perpetually, without any expectation of a final resting point. This is the mindset of the great practitioners in every field. They don't reach a level of competence and coast. They remain relentlessly curious about where they still fall short, which specific edge of their skill needs sharpening, which aspect of their character still bends under pressure. Marcus Aurelius is perhaps the most striking example of this. Here was a man with more worldly power than almost any human in history. He could have declared himself arrived. Instead, his private journals, the meditations written only for himself, are filled with reminders to stay humble, to keep improving, to remain suspicious of his own ego. That is what acting as if you're the best actually looks like at the highest level. Not satisfaction with your current state, but absolute commitment to the direction of your growth. How does this apply to your everyday life? In your relationships, ask yourself what the finest version of you as a partner, a friend, a parent, or a colleague would bring to the table. Not perfection. Presence, patience, honesty, and continuous effort. In your physical health, Ask how the best version of you treats the body it lives in. What habits would that person build and protect? What choices would they make at 11 p.m. when willpower is low and the easier path beckons? In your work, ask what standards the most serious, the most capable, the most principled version of you would hold to, even when no one is watching. These aren't hypothetical questions. They're daily Stoic exercises. Here is the deepest truth underneath everything we've covered. The moment you begin practicing the qualities of your best self, those qualities begin to take root. The Stoics understood the human mind as deeply malleable, shaped not by what we feel, but by what we repeatedly do. Seneca expressed this directly. We are not made by single grand gestures. We are made by the accumulation of 1,000 small daily choices that either honor or betray the standard we've set for ourselves. You are not waiting to become your best self. You are practicing your way into being that person, one choice at a time. This might feel unfamiliar at first, even slightly theatrical, when you stand taller in a difficult room, when you choose the disciplined option over the comfortable one, when you respond with patience instead of reactivity. It might feel like you're performing. That's completely normal, and it doesn't matter, because the mechanism of change doesn't require that you feel authentic yet. It only requires that you act. Again and again. Over time, what started as a conscious effort quietly migrates from effort to instinct, from performance to character. Think of building physical strength. The first session with weights is awkward, uncomfortable, a little clumsy. You're not yet the person who lifts easily and powerfully, but you return, and the body, responding to that repeated signal, rebuilds itself around that new demand. The mind works precisely the same way. Each time you choose to meet a situation with the mindset of your best self, even when it feels like a stretch, you're sending a signal to your own character. This is who I am becoming. Epictetus reminded his students that we always retain the power to choose our orientation toward life. That power doesn't disappear under pressure or inconvenience. It only strengthens the more deliberately we exercise it. The key is consistency, not the grand transformation, not the dramatic moment of resolve, just the quiet daily return to your highest standard, regardless of how you feel. Perhaps the most counterintuitive aspect of this entire philosophy is this: acting as though you're the best demands that you be ruthlessly honest about where you fall short, not to punish yourself, not to spiral into shame, but because no one who operates at genuine excellence is operating in blindness about their own limitations. Marcus Aurelius didn't pretend to have no flaws. He cataloged them meticulously in his private writings, treating them with curiosity rather than contempt. I failed to be patient here. I allowed vanity to cloud my judgment there. I chose comfort over discipline in this moment. This is the Stoic practice of honest self-examination, and it's a form of strength, not weakness. Because here's what happens when you refuse to look at your blind spots. They grow. They compound quietly in the background, shaping your decisions in ways you can't see and can't address. Unexamined weaknesses don't remain neutral. They become your ceiling. But when you face them directly, with the same calm, disciplined posture the Stoics modeled, they become something entirely different. They become the precise location of your next growth. Seneca wrote that failure and adversity are our most honest teachers. They show us, without flattery, exactly where we still have work to do. And from that honest accounting, we can build something far more durable than performance. We can build genuine capability. So when you practice acting as your best self, include in that practice the discipline of looking unflinchingly at the areas where your best self hasn't yet fully arrived, not with shame, with the Stoics' calm interest in progress. Here's a dimension of this philosophy that often gets overlooked. When you consistently hold yourself to a high standard, you don't just transform your own life, you quietly reshape the expectations of everyone in your orbit. The Stoics had a concept for this, the idea that we are all stitched together, that our individual choices ripple outward and affect the whole fabric of our communities. They called this sympathia, the recognition that human beings are deeply interconnected, and that one person's commitment to excellence creates an environment where others feel permission to rise as well. Think about someone in your life who consistently operates with purpose, clarity, and discipline. You don't need them to lecture you. Their presence alone recalibrates your own sense of what's possible. That's not an accident. That's the natural gravity of genuine excellence. When you choose to hold yourself to the standard of your best self, you become that presence for the people around you, not by demanding anything of them, not by performing your discipline for an audience, but simply by the quiet consistency of your own choices. You're not just building a better life for yourself. You're building a higher environment for everyone within reach of your example. As the Stoics would put it, a single person walking their path with genuine commitment is worth more than 100 people talking about the path. No honest conversation about excellence can avoid the subject of failure, because failure will come. It comes for everyone, including the people we most admire, including the Stoics themselves. Marcus Aurelius lost battles. He watched close friends die. He governed during plague and war and constant political pressure. He didn't succeed despite these things. He built his character through them. The Stoic framework for failure is both simple and radical. What opposes your forward movement is not your enemy. It is your curriculum. This is not toxic positivity. It's not a suggestion to smile through genuine pain. It's something harder and more honest than that. It's the recognition that how you respond to failure is always within your domain of control, regardless of what caused the failure. You can't always control outcomes. You can control whether you extract the lesson, adjust your approach, and return to the path with more knowledge than you had before. That response is itself a form of excellence. Epictetus taught his students to approach every setback with a single question. What is this showing me? Not, why is this happening to me? That question leads inward to paralysis. But what is this showing me? That question opens outward to growth. The best practitioners in every field share one defining trait. Not that they fail less than others, but that they recover more deliberately. They treat failure not as a verdict, but as data. And they return to their work and to their highest standard, faster and better informed than before. So when you fall short, and you will, remember that the Stoic measure of your character is not whether you fell. It's what you choose to become in the rising. Everything we've explored today converges on a single point. This is not a one-time insight. It's a daily practice. Marcus Aurelius began each morning not with confidence, not with certainty, but with intention. He wrote reminders to himself not because he had mastered what they contained, but because mastery required daily renewal. He understood that the mind, left unattended, drifts toward comfort, toward comparison, toward the easier path. Deliberate practice is the antidote to that drift. So here is the daily Stoic exercise we'd encourage you to carry into tomorrow. Before your day begins, pause. Ask yourself honestly, how would the finest version of me approach today? Not the most comfortable version, not the most impressive version for the sake of appearance. The most genuine, most capable, most principled version. Then act from that answer. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel like the best. You need only to act as though you are committed to being the best. And then act on that commitment with consistency. Over time, those daily commitments accumulate, into something you can't manufacture any other way. A genuine, tested, resilient character, not a performance of excellence. Actual excellence built one deliberate choice at a time. As the Stoics would remind us, you do not rise to your greatest moment. You fall to the level of your daily preparation. So prepare daily, show up fully, and hold yourself every single day to the highest standard you are capable of meeting. If today's exploration of Stoic philosophy resonated with you, there's one simple thing we'd ask: hit the like button. And if you're not yet part of our community, subscribe to Stoic Horizon. Every video we make is designed to give you practical, ancient wisdom you can carry into the modern world.